Hi, and welcome to part one of Illinois Creek. This is a three-part series. I hope we can get it all in three series. I'm painting on a 16 by 30, and you can do a 12 by 24 or a 10 by 20, that's fine too. Today is block-in, which means we're going to be mapping out where the shapes are going to be. So we started with simple lines, and then we started filling in with thin value colors, and that's what you see. So in the next 25-30 minutes you can watch me step by step as I blocked in this painting and show you how I made those mixtures. So it's real simple, and just remember, keep it thin because we want to build on top of this. Alright, enough said I think about the start of this painting. I just want to encourage you to keep painting. Paint every week, get some friends to paint with, get outside and paint, and get critiques. Those are all important things. So, enough said by me. If you're on YouTube, give me a subscribe or a like, and on Uscreen, I'll be building my Uscreen audience here, and hope you like all this stuff that we're providing to you online on a weekly basis. That's what I do, is to give you weekly instructions. So stay with me weekly. You're going to get good so quick. All right. I think I've said everything I need to say. Let's start painting. All right. Bye-bye. Hi, everybody, and welcome to part one of Illinois Creek. And this will be a three-part series, but it could be four because it's a pretty big canvas. We're working on a 16 by 30. I'm George Coll. I'm here in Loveland, Colorado. You can find the reference right here at georgecollgreatart.com and look under the menu for photo references. So I'm taping this for YouTube, and I'm also taping for Uscreen, and that's where you can find me. I found this location years ago, and I've painted it previously, and I'm painting it again because I think I can do better. Now that's always a challenge to put yourself through, but I'm going to give it a try. I like it, of course, because it's such a neat, abstract, meandering shape that it's just attracts you to say, oh, I gotta paint that. And that's what I'm going to do today. What I'm going to change in this reference is, you probably can't see from the camera, but there's a mountain range behind here, and that is, I'm going to increase the size of it and make those a little bit more pronounced. The location is near Walden, Colorado, a place called North Park. It's surrounded by mountains, and it's just a really stunning place. Today is block-in day, and what I want to do is get that shape in here and cover as much as I can the whole canvas with paint. So that's the goal today. So you can see from my materials, I'm going to be using the big brushes today, and pretty much the regular stuff that you see when I started painting with big brushes. I have my basic palette of ultra blue, permanent red medium, lemon yellow, Naples yellow deep, and cold gray. Raw sienna I've added, and Viridian. Of course, I'm going to use titanium white, and this stuff down here is left over from paintings from last week. I don't know if I'll be using that at all, so I'll be right up here in this neighborhood of the basic colors. For more information on my palette or my color choices, I have a video on my website that describes my materials. So let's make a mixture and get started. So I'm going to make an ultra blue raw sienna. ultra blue, raw sienna. I'm going to add some titanium white. It's kind of a, I'm coming up with a gray, warm color because of the raw sienna. And I'm making a lot of it. And I'm mixing it thoroughly with my big fat T7 palette knife. All right, I think I'm going to do my drawing with my number 8. And I'm going to put in first my horizon line and build down from there. So my horizon line is going to be up in here somewhere. So I probably have 1/3 and 2/3 down here. Let me see if I'm even close to that. It's not quite, so, but at least I want to make it level. And here is a way to figure out if it's level. Just measure with your brush. And it's level. This one was not. It snuck down. It sunk on one side. Okay, so with that, we've got a design to put in. Because this camera, or this canvas is so big, I had to move my equipment over here. It's going to be difficult. You might see my arm or my shoulder here quite a bit, but somewhere in here, to the left of center, is the beginning of some streams down in here. And then almost coming off here is some meandering circle type stuff. And then the interesting thing about all this is that there's all this stuff over here on the right that is another design altogether. And so those are my first lines to try to figure out where everything is going to be. And with that, let's start getting a little bit more descriptive. Now, again, if this is block-in stage, we're trying to put the design in thin paints. We're not going to be having a lot of thick paint. There, let me put a curve right in here. And I'm kind of making this up a little bit as I go, but using as best I can some this kind of interesting detail over here of these little curves in here. All right. I hope this is making sense to you guys. I'm trying to figure out where the water will be, and I'm putting the two sides of the stream in right here. I think I need to shrink some of this down. It goes from fat to thin and then wide again. And then it actually goes off the canvas on the right side. The challenging part of this painting is this great big area with nothing in it. I'll have to see what I can do about that. All right, let's get back to the design stuff. I'm gonna get around the camera here, get around the other side, see if I can get this elbow in right in here. Let's see. Uh-oh. Let me see, that's working. All right, I'll get back around the other side. And up here you can't see water so much. I think in the elbows you might see the water, but it's just a lot of. And I think she goes back up into here. All right, that would be my design. So this would be a time to stop the tape if you're on YouTube or Uscreen and take a look to see if your design is working for you. And me being a one-take shot guy, I'm going to say this is looking pretty good. And I do like it. I'm not being sarcastic. I think it's a good design. Now up here, I'm going to make more mountains and that's my mountain design. I might make it taller, and then I'm going to have cloud design also. And this is going to be a cloud in here. And I think I'll have the clouds come down to the mountains on the left side. Pretty much like I'm getting inspired by the reference. All right, that's my start. I'm going to step back and take a look at the design and see if there's anything really out of whack here. And I think we're doing okay. So where do we go from here? Well, I want to start filling in some big areas with value color, thin value colors. I still have some product left over from the first mixture, and I'm going to move it right over here to the left. And I'm going to get ready for my next mixture. Cleaning the glass with my razor blade knife. And this time, let's go back to some basic colors. Ultra blue, lemon yellow. Now that makes a beautiful green, but it's too bright. And we have to gray it down. So what I'm going to do to see if I can gray it down is use some of the basic color we already mixed a few minutes ago and throw that in there and gray it down with that. Calm it down. And now I'm going to add some titanium white to see what she comes up to look like. And that's coming in even better. And I am making a thorough mixture. And let me see what that looks like. Good, I think it's a good base. It's a little gray, but a little bit more yellow, a little bit more white, and spruce it up a little. Mixing a big pile takes a minute or two. And being a large painting, that's what's going to probably happen. So I'm going to get my number 10 and get some turp in it. I also have been washing out some of my cleaner that I put in last Friday when I finished last week's paintings. And I want to get that out of my brush. And here I am putting this. You can see it's a very thin mixture. And it's going on real nicely. And I know you say you want to blue it as it goes back, and cool it, and warm it as you come forward. But for now, let's just get one basic color in here. And for now, we'll call it our value color. And it will be a base. Oh man, I wiped out part of my stream here. And I'm trying to get into the edge of my drawing here without losing my drawing. And here I go on the lower section here. North Park is one of my favorite places to paint. It's got a sense of wide openness. It has these meandering creeks going through. It has a little town of Walden. North Park is one of those special places in Colorado that hasn't been made into a ski resort or condominiums, and it's still full of ranches. And this is an area where they grow a lot of hay and raise a lot of cows. And I think there's even a buffalo herd up there. Somebody has invested in buffalo. And I'm going to get back and take a look at that. All right, so now you can see the design a little bit more distinct here. And now let's get back and see if I can pick up some of this stuff. And I was a little too greasy on that one, so I have to pick it up. Got a lot of terp down here. It'll take a second. What you hear me doing here is frantically cleaning my palette here to get to the next mixture. All right, so let's get those mountains in. And let's start with some ultra blue and titanium white and some gray. Titanium white. And let's paint it. Now I have some contamination in my brush, some green from this mixture right here, and that will affect the blue color. But I don't think to any extent that's going to screw us up at this early stage of the painting. I'm going to add just a little bit more blue. Alrighty. And I'm thinning it down. So I just don't want a flat line across here with the mountains. I want some bumps and stuff on top. And then I want it to be gradually tapered off to one side. And let me... All right, that would be our design there. And let's move into our clouds now. Again, the reason for this stage is to block in and to get a value color base to build the rest of the painting on. That's what we're hoping to do today. So now let's get up in the clouds. We're going to add just a touch of red to this. Go easy on the red, it's very strong. Now add some white, a little bit of gray, a little bit of red. And I'm making kind of a light purple. And it's going to be the design for my clouds. I'm just going to use one value for the clouds, and then as the painting proceeds, I will be adding a little bit more darks and lights into the cloud. I'm going to go back to the same brush I used right here. And if you put your paint on too thick, you can just pick up your paper towel and pick some of that up, which I just did. I put it on a little too thick. All right, let's proceed to the clouds. And I added some turp. Oops, I lost my image, excuse me. Here we go. And wherever I put the gray is going to be where the design of the cloud is going to be. And I'm going to bring it a little bit closer to the horizon. I'm going to actually bring it right down close to the top of the mountains.
Sorry. Yeah.
Say again, Ralph, I didn't quite hear it.
What was the next cloud? Please, more time.
I think you're asking me what the mixture is. You're kind of breaking up. And basically what
Yes, the color. Yeah.
So the color for the clouds is ultra blue, gray, a little bit of permanent red medium, very little, and of course titanium white. And that would be my design. I'm going to pick this up and then move over to the next major thing we're going to do, and that is, let's get some blue in the water. Since we've got this mixture already made, let's add some more ultra blue to it, and some gray. I'm going to add some titanium white. And we will work on the water course here. There we go. That's working. So what I'm doing with my mixtures, I'm trying to jump around, at least in this phase, this blocking phase. If I've got one mixture like the clouds or the mountains, what can I also mix and make from that mixture on my palette? And I made the decision I could probably come up with a color value for the stream and not be too far off. And that's making a big difference. You can already see from your vantage point that just putting in this value is working pretty good. So not too dark, not too light. Now to orient you as to where Walden is over the mountains and not too far away as the crow flies from Steamboat, Colorado, where one of my students watching today, Jan, used to live. All right, so now I think I'm out of titanium white, so I'm going to squeeze some more on here and see what else we can do. So let's throw the titanium white out, get some more ultra blue in here. And I'll fill out the sky. And I'm just putting a base in. And I'll be putting ultra blue in here. And I'll be doing it in the upper part of the sky. And below, I'm going to put more of a viridian and white down in this area down here. So this will be viridian and white, this will be cerulean, ultra blue and white. And with that, that's block in, and I'll work this off camera to save time here and try to keep this thing in within 30 minutes. So with that, I'm going to say thank you so much for coming in today and starting this painting with me. Illinois Creek. It's going to be a real adventure as we go forward. All right, with that, I'm going to bring our taping to a close. And Zoomers, you can stay online. We can unmute and discuss the painting so far. All right, you all. Tune in tomorrow for part 2. All right, bye-bye.